Hello, and today I'm here reviewing Dragonfire by Juliet Bond. And the dragons in this story are called Featherstone dragons. And they are basically a separate breed of dragon from the typical scaly ones that we think about, which are in this book referred to as vipers. And the Featherstone dragons are they have feathers, but they are as hard as stone in place of scales. So this to me was just, I love the cover. I mean, the cover is just, I loved it. It is not a very thick book, but the most impressive thing about this book is that it's written by a girl in elementary school. And I was so excited to get my hands on this because, for one, I think that sometimes we tell kids that they can't do things because they are young. And this is proof that kids can do whatever they think they can put their minds to if we quit telling them that they are too young to do it. This girl wrote a book, and it was fabulous. And what do I mean by that? Okay, well, here's the thing. I love dragon books. I absolutely do. I have read The Dragon Riders of Pern by Anne McCaffrey. I've read Christopher Poloni's Inheritance Cycle, and I have read Chris DeLacy's Dragons of Wayward Crescent series. So, I love dragon books. I really do. I mean, I've read a ton of them. This, and another favorite series of mine, Talons of Power. That's another great series. But I have read tons of dragon books. And this was unlike anything I have ever read. And what do I mean by that? Okay, so if you read a book with dragon riders in it, 9 times out of 10, they impress the dragons the same way in every book. They somehow come in contact with the egg, and that's why it hatches. So this is really cool because so far I have not seen any humanoid characters. The dragons are the main characters, which is what I loved the most. And the main character in this is on a quest to find his fire. It's a very good coming of age story, and I think that this is the perfect size chapter book to transition your kids from storybooks to chapter books, because this is very much in the size of Goosebumps, which is very trendy for that age group. This is a great middle grade book. Absolutely great. And there again, I read a lot of middle grade books. I have tons of the Goosebumps books, and I love them. This is so impressive. I'll be honest, I was really shocked when I read it, and I was also kind of surprised because there was some words in here that I was like, whoa! An elementary school kid knows these words. I was really, really surprised. And I couldn't have been happier. The only thing that I really wanted to know, and this would kind of affect my review a little bit, is there going to be a book 2? I would really love to see a book 2 to this because the world is really, really cool that she built. It's like a 2-part world. And the Featherstone dragons live below the surface. And they have plants, and it's really beautiful. And the vipers live above ground, and they're like scaly and stuff. It's really cool. If you like dragon books, or if you have kids, or if you are a librarian, or if you work at a school, I really recommend you get this book just because it is completely inspiring to read. Because the girl worked hard on this, you can tell, but it is just, the story is so good. Her imagination is wonderful. I absolutely love the story. But what really, really shocked me was the background writing, the imagery that is described in this book. It is really good. When I read this, because that's how I always tell if a book is really good or if it's just kind of, there. If I can read a book and I forget that I'm reading because the words are creating a picture in my head, and it's more like watching a movie than reading, say, the newspaper. That's when I enjoy a book the most, and I got that from this. So I absolutely just, bravo. 5 out of 5 stars, but I wish I could give it 100. I wish I could give it 100 stars. You guys really need to pick this up. You can get this on Amazon. So like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you soon.